Hey guys, one more video here, and this is a comparison between the first time I went out and paddled with NAC and those guys, and the second time I went out paddled with NAC and those guys. So the first video, or the first time that I went out was the video on the right, and the second time is the video on the left. And you could pretty much see there's a pretty huge distinction as far as the stroke. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So you can see I've started pretty much at the same spot. I've got that rotation. And you can notice one of the things that is different, if you don't really see it, because it's obviously an angle, but there's a little bit more forward movement of my body in the one on the video on the left versus on my right, which it allows, what makes me basically have to get that body, well, gets my body engaged, right? And you can look and where, in relation to the differences between the video on the right versus the video on the left on who gets the paddle in sooner. So we basically started pretty much the same spot. Look at that, even right down to the splashing of the water, right? One of the things that I have a problem with is that I have this curvature that I still need to work on. I need to open up more, obviously. Getting better by comparison to the video on the right, but it's still something that I need to work on. But that being said, as I get in with my stroke, the red on the left is more conscious about his body movement versus red on the right. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to throw this, I'm going to get that blade over, out, and I'm going to throw my body forward. And then boom. Look at the differences between the blade entries. I have basically, at that moment, at that time, I'm already ready to rock and roll. You can see here, I'm still here, but I'm vertical here. Okay. And really, there's that half second that I was talking about. And this is because in the previous stroke or the previous video or the video on my right, I wasn't being very cognizant of throwing my body forward. I was just thinking about rotation, dropping my shoulder as always, which is obviously something we still want to do, still rotate, but I wasn't cognizant about throwing my body forward. When you throw your body forward more, you actually get that blade in a lot quicker. Okay? And so when it's in the water, and then basically simply at this point, you can see the difference between the entry. Here on the left, I'm using my body, I'm planning it, I'm using my body, and I'm sitting up. I'm simply sitting up. Now I could sit up a bit more, but I'm not even sitting up at all on the video on the right. I'm muscling it. This is when Danny told me to quit trying to lift the entire canoe. I'm just, ugh. I mean, you can look at that guy. He just wants to, he's just digging. You know, and so it's just something to take into account. Let me turn down that volume. So, just gonna go slow motion here now. We're on a little bit faster rate.